Was it truly Adam Walsh's head found 6 weeks after 6-year-old Adam Walsh was kidnapped from a Sears in Florida in 1981? People are bringing up questions. Questions indeed, especially this person who claims to be Adam. Was it Adam's head found in that canal in Florida? Was it a presumptive identification, not a definitive identification? Indeed, as I dug into it more since our last episode, I started digging into how the head was identified as Adam Walsh's. And some very interesting things came up. It was indeed dental records because there was not DNA testing at the time. But this individual said once he was taken by Otis Toole from the Sears, they took him to the dentist and had his tooth pulled. Now, the dental records is how they were matched, but also we had wondered, was there a visual identity? And yes, there was, but it was not from the family members. It was not from the Walshes. It was not from any family members. It was from a family friend who, although the head was not in a decomposed state when found, a family friend who was not sure if it was Adam, so asked the medical examiner to open the mouth and identified Adam through the front teeth, because in this very famous picture, as you know, with the baseball cap on, it was taken shortly before he went missing, and he had 2 missing front teeth. And so the person had them open the mouth. But now, here's a little twist. Not only that, in 2008, when the records went public, the police records went public, and a journalist was able to look at the crime scene photos. Macabre, right? But someone's got to do it. Look at those crime scene photos that the head, the person whose head that belonged to, the front tooth was grown in some. Okay, and there's also discrepancy as to how much that front tooth was grown in. Some say all the way, little bit in, halfway in. So in 2 weeks, could a tooth grow almost all the way in? There's a question, right? Also, the dental records, the medical examiner reports, missing, not present. And that was based on the identification of Adam Walsh. Now, Adam has a sibling, one of the siblings, Megan, who does believe Adam is alive. So as I dig more, there's more questions and more things that make it seem like, okay, it could be possible. And when we're looking for missing people, or there are missing people, and then someone comes forward, a lot of times people tend to go, oh, come on, it's not you. And we think that, oh, imposter. But you know what? What I think is we should look through the information and make an informed opinion, because what if it is indeed someone that's been missing, right? So this individual said their tooth was pulled. Okay. And has gone to the very hospital in Florida to have DNA testing done that Adam had gone to prior to being kidnapped because he had a heart issue. So would an imposter go to the very same hospital? Why are all the records missing? Here's another one. There was no DNA testing at the time, right? They kept the head till 2008. Now, why during that time? All of that time was DNA testing not conducted on the head? Especially since, Adam's the reason the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children began. The national databases were developed, DNA databases, all of it. So I find it very interesting that because they were pioneers in that, that the DNA testing was not done on the head, or was it? Not that we've heard of, not that I can find that it's been reported. So this is in front of us is Adam, who now identifies as Lily, but is Adam Walsh and claiming to be Adam Walsh. And if you look at this next picture, I want to show you something that we hadn't seen before. This is from 1981, when that's the actual when they found the head in the canal in Florida. And we're going to talk more about it tomorrow, so hit that notification bell. I wanted to bring forward to you some of the things I've been looking into and noticed and learned since we last talked about Adam. Very interesting about the identification process, that it was not a cut and dry, yes, that's Adam. The person who was a family friend could not make a identification and therefore asked for the mouth to be open, and because there was a missing tooth or a tooth that was partially grown in, that was claimed Adam was. And then the journalist said, talking to other pediatric dentists and forensic dentists, they say that would be a presumptive identification, not a definitive. And I find it interesting that it's never gone to trial. Well, how could it go to trial if you couldn't take it to trial unless you have definitive proof of identity that was Adam, correct? Do they have definitive proof, or is that why it never went to trial? But why didn't they do the DNA testing in 2008 to the head? So he had missing teeth in the front, that very famous photo, but apparently the crime scene photos show that the severed head had a tooth growing in, and that wouldn't happen in 2 weeks. So it raises a lot of questions. Why are the dental records the only thing that allegedly was the identification? Because the visual was also an identification based on teeth. Why is that missing? Why are the dental records missing in the x-rays? Where are the medical examiner's narratives and reports that are missing? Those are missing as well. Why wasn't DNA testing done on the head so there could be a trial? Right? Lots of questions. Is this Adam? Is this Adam who deserves to be recognized as Adam? One of the siblings, Megan, that I've delved into a little bit, believes so. Now, we do know that we also talked about that family strife going on between, John Walsh and Megan Walsh. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more too. So just a lot to research, and I want to thank you for your comments. I will get back to responding to you. Thank you so much, and hit that notification bell, and don't miss tomorrow when we deep dive into how they identified the severed head as Adam's. Was it definitive? Was it presumptive? Could there be a family who that truly belongs to, and it isn't Adam, and Adam is indeed the person claiming to be alive? Why are reports missing? Lots of questions. Is Adam Walsh alive? Hit your notification bell, and we will continue this conversation on Buzz Unplugged tomorrow. Keep keeping on. Talk soon.